Mykhailo Mudryk was the subject of a transfer tug-of-war between title challengers Arsenal and Chelsea, only 5 months ago, as the two London clubs battled to sign a player tipped to reach the same level as Kylian Mbappé. But as the Blues welcomed their £88 million star after beating the Gunners to the punch, there may be some regrets over pushing through such an expensive deal for a player who has largely struggled in his first season in the Premier League. The Ukrainian arrived in January from Shakhtar Donetsk in a deal that proved to be the third highest in the club's history, with Chelsea committing to spending £60 million up front with a further £28 million in add-ons. The 22-year-old enjoyed a lively debut from the bench against Liverpool, making a mockery of the Reds' defence with some sensational slaloms, and he could have grabbed a brace at Anfield, but the rusty winger failed to find the target on both occasions. Chelsea fans were excited about the prospect of having Mudryk terrorise defenders from the left under Graham Potter. But as their season plumbed to new lows as they fell into the bottom half, the youngster has struggled to influence games to the extent some might have expected him to. Going into the final game of the season against Newcastle, Mudryk is yet to score in his 15 appearances for the West London club and has supplied only 2 assists. Is Mudryk really that bad? Not in my opinion. I won't judge him by the buzz on social media these days. First of all, Mudryk really didn't have much show time during half a season at Chelsea. In the 15 games he started, he played only 655 minutes or 44 minutes per game. He also makes 1.28 key passes every 90 minutes, which isn't bad for a player who has just moved into the biggest league on the planet. He makes 3.98 dribbles every 90 minutes, a number that puts him ahead of 95% of the other wingers in the league. Although the statistical sample is very small, it must be affirmed that Mudryk performed very well. Even the early miss against Man United that drew criticism from him showed a bright spot in the way he chose his position. This situation he actively moved in to destroy the defensive structure of Man United. We can see right away, it is thanks to Mudryk's attraction to Bissaka that Halls can move up like an invisible person and receive the ball from Gallagher. One important thing that makes Mudryk look wrong is the messy tactical structure of Chelsea's Lampard era. To make it easier to understand, let's borrow Arsenal's 4th goal against Wolves as an example. When Trossard, who was bought by Arsenal to replace Mudryk, received the ball on the left. Immediately, Xhaka moved into the box to attract the attention of 2 Wolves players and help Trossard only face 1 away player. Trossard easily crossed the ball to assist Jesus to score. A similar counter-attack in Chelsea vs Bournemouth, Mudryk also received the ball on the left. And what is the main difference? Not Mudryk's teammates, 2 Bournemouth players move into the box. That put him in a 1v4 situation and had to pass the ball to Chilwell. New Chelsea boss Mauricio Pochettino has been told to sign 5 winners in the transfer market that can help turn around the Blues' careers, of Mykhailo Mudryk. Former Liverpool striker Dean Saunders reacted to Pochettino's announcement by claiming that the Argentine needs to overhaul the entire Chelsea team with no less than 5 new transfers. He insisted that heads will roll after an abysmal 12th-placed finish, and it could be at least 2 more years before the club returns to the top. "You've got to rip it up and start again," Saunders told TalkSport. "He has got to sign 5 players for me and 5 of his players, important players down the spine of the team. Then maybe Mudryk, you might see a bit better from him, you might see a bit more from Sterling. Where they finished in the league is an absolute disaster for the money they have spent. In any other business, heads will roll, you have got to get them out. I can't say where they are going to finish next year. I think it's going to be 2 years before we see the best of Chelsea. Then will the manager get the time? You don't normally." I completely agree with Saunders' point. Obviously, Mudryk's problem is only a small part of psychology, and largely because Chelsea this season is too unstable. Mudryk haters will criticize Trossard's performances at Arsenal, but if Trossard moves to Chelsea and plays under an unstable system, can he shine? Football London 3 days ago published an interesting piece with quotes from Heung-min Son about how Mauricio Pochettino helped him become a top player following his arrival at Spurs. "He has encouraged that running in me. Football is about scoring, and if you want to that, you have to go forward. That is what he wants me to do. I don't want to do difficult things, just go straight. When I first joined I was not like this. The gaffer taught me a lot about my movement, and off the ball I have changed a lot. It's difficult to say what he was thinking in that meeting. It doesn't matter now. I am just really happy I am still here. He has made things better. I am really thankful. Now that Pochettino has been appointed at Chelsea, there are a lot of questions about whether he can do a similar job with the expensive signings newly arrived at Stamford Bridge. Mykhailo Mudryk as the man who could be Poch's son at Chelsea. The two play out wide, and come to the Premier League ready to really make their name. Mudryk is far more of a rough diamond than Son was when he arrived at Tottenham, however. Son needed some shaping and some adjustment to the Premier League, but he had all the raw ingredients: pace, strength, toughness, two-footedness and an eye for goal. Mudryk has the pace, but we're yet to see evidence of the other parts yet. With Mykhailo Mudryk yet to truly establish himself at Stamford Bridge, the newly appointed Chelsea manager can rework his magic and help the Ukrainian fulfill his potential. And that is also the last content in today's video. If you enjoy the video, please leave us one like and one subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell to not miss the latest content from us.